Alright, here we are. So, level 38. Will you get out of the way, darling? God, hogging all the attention. Alright, level 38. You're ready to get your final, or your third tier class. But again, you have two choices. You have the light path, the Eldefray, or the Swordmaster. Just using the term Swordmaster increases its damage by 0%, so you definitely want to use that whenever possible. Also, we have the dark path, and this would be the Duelist. This is a it was my favorite class in the original. Here it's, you know, well, we'll get into that in a bit. So we are going to go with the Duelist. We are going to stay in the darkness. Alrighty, so the Duelist does get the highest strength and therefore attack out of any of his tier 3 classes. The Duelist is well, let's see here. So let's get into all the good stuff. Wrong button. So as you know, new class, new goodies. Let's see what we got. We got the Adrenaline Rush. Attack increases after defeating an enemy. This is if it's your first time through the game, this is gonna be good. You know, it's a quality of life skill. This is a hard attack buff, so you know it will not stack with other hard attack buffs, but it will stack with things such as Indomitable and maybe this mystery skill that is blank here. Again, it's quality of life. The deal is it doesn't necessarily have to be an enemy. It can be perhaps an object. Maybe in a boss fight there will be something you need to destroy, such as, well, spoilers, but you know, if you destroy those things in the boss fight, this will also proc this Adrenaline Rush here. That's what I could say, you know, to try to hype it up, but in actuality it's really not that good, and the chief reason for that would be this sucker right here, Drake Skill, boost allies attack. Well, it does exactly what it says it does. It gives you an hard attack buff, rendering this useless. This is a quality of life, of course, and even still, you know, it's the same deal with the Duelist as it was on the Gladiator. You're going to walk into the fight. You're going to get that attack buff. You're going to drop your spin slash. You're going to annihilate everything and move on. So it is a quality of life. And if you do not have Drake skills, it's a pretty good skill. But I mean, that's about all I can say for it. Alrighty, now let's talk about the class strike. This is indeed this offends me greatly. My soul is damaged. This was my favorite move in the original. It was called Eruption Sword. It was a full screen tech. It annihilated everything on the screen. It was super awesome, but in this remake, it breaks my heart, my achy breaky heart, and it's no longer a full screen tech. Then again, full screen techs really don't exist in the remake, but it is now in fact a beam super, so to speak. It's just a narrow line beam type attack. So I was incredibly distraught. First time I laid eyes upon it, I was like, yes, yes, jump up in the air, show me your true power. And then immediately afterwards, I was just I did in fact alt tab, but you know, what can you do? So the attack range on it is quite good, though. It's similar to Kevin's Dark Path Annihilator Kamehameha, only that Kevin's is super crazy and it hits a bunch of times. This one's only going to hit twice. Now, comparing it with the third tier class strike on the Swordmaster, it does a bit more damage, but the hollow slash is going to have much more range. So, you know, Gladiator is, I mean, the Duelist is, he's still good. It's just that, you know, the class I'm going to do after this is just so ridiculous. You know, it's mind-boggling. Alright, so, as you know, you're getting 3 abilities slash moves with each class. This one here is the neutral, would be the fighter. Of course, we went with the gladiator, and we got these 3. Got some attack, saber, charger, strength. Here we are on the duelist. We now get wound, rage, and strength. Strength is good. We need as much of it as possible. Alright, let's talk about wound here. So, it basically does what it says. Damage increased by 30%. However, when you use a power attack, which would be this, or that, or that, you will take, of course, thank you, alrighty, you will take 5% HP damage. So, same deal, it's just like Angela's wound magic. It's good if you are going to be hitting things, which you should be. However, it does not increase the damage of your class strike. Still, it's wrong menu, man. Alright, still, it's quite good. Rage, same deal. When you take HP damage, you're going to get a soft attack buff, and this will go up to a maximum of 30%. So rage is good. This will affect your class strikes. Wound will not, but then again, you know, you have to hit things to get class strike, especially this combo here. Well, now that I'm doing it, let's show you. So your 3rd tier class will complete your moveset. You will not get any more normal attacks. So this is maxed out. You will, however, get a new charge attack, and that's this sucker here. And it doesn't hit as many times as Kevin's or even Hawkeye's or even Reese. However, what it does do is it hits really, really hard. You will be chunking life bars when you hit with it. It's just one big, just massive amounts of damage. Again, each power attack does more than the previous one. So this will do more than this. Same deal. So it's kind of good, especially for Duran. It really plays to his strength. And wound, of course, will be making this pretty crazy. So rage, again, moving on, it's just an attack buff. The more you get hit, you know, when your HP go down, it's pretty good. We're going to be using it. Same deal with stamina on Duran. Maybe possibly now you might consider going into stamina, because again, the duelist will be taking its own life force to do damage, so having a high HP pool or high defense will offset that, especially if you wanted to do a low HP type of you know, build. You know, if you were going to say, let's slap on attack help or perhaps conflagrration, you know, you're gonna want as much defense and HP as you possibly can. Again, this makes Duran the best character in the game for that style of play. Intelligence. Now, intelligence is a hard skip, aside from one very amazing skill that in certain fights is just bonkers. This would be fraction. So if an enemy resists or absorbs elements, you know, such as fire, you know, lightning, wind, water, ice, you get the deal. You slap this on your character, and you will just be doing an absolute just ton of damage to that enemy. A certain very ferocious furry creature in the end game, post game, this will annihilate that creature. But you know, outside of enemies that, you know, have those resistance, it's, you know, you're not going to use it. So under certain circumstances, this skill is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And again, it is a chain skill. So you can slap this puppy on our dear Angela or Hawkeye. So, alrighty. Moving on. Guard Saber. What this does is it increases defense, elemental defense for a specific element. So, as you know, the Gladiator got some sabers here. So let's just use Flame Saber as an example. You cast Flame Saber on yourself. Your weapon is now imbued with the power of fire. But if you have Guard Saber equipped, now you will also take less damage from fire. So again, the only thing here, I mean, you're really never going to use Guard Saber, but you know, you will use Fraction for, at the very least, one fight in the game, and it's just night and day. Alrighty. Spirit. So what do we get in Spirit here? Well, we got 10 more Spirit, nobody cares, and we got Dark Saber. So the Light Path, the Paladin, gets Holy Saber, but no regular sabers. The Dark Path just sticks with the theme and gets Dark Saber. The issue with Dark Saber is end game and post game, it's, you know, everything is dark. So there will be, I mean, even when it's time to get your 3rd tier class for the first time, depending on if you can actually get the seeds, you know, what seed you get and what class they're going to give you first. Even then, trying to keep spoilers to a minimum. If you do certain dungeons in a certain order, you know, let's say you picked a certain dungeon and it is a light dungeon. Well, obviously Dark Saber is going to be useful, but that's the only time in the game it's really going to be useful. Just one fight. Again, you know, you can always no, we don't want to do that. You can always pop a claw. You can just eat a claw and put the Dark Saber on you. Again, Duran does have Attack Saber, so, but in general, you're not going to be using Dark Saber for anything. Victory MP boost, you're not going to need it. You just pop a nut, you know, and he really doesn't use MP. So, alright, so let's take a look at luck. Now, luck on the 3rd tier class for Duran is an amazing stat. This is most likely where your points are going to go after you max strength. The reason being Flourish. Now, Flourish increases critical hit damage. This is just an amazing skill to use. Duran will crit quite a lot, and this is also a chain skill, so you can put it on another character. As for Forsake, you're really not going to use it. I mean, I suppose. You know, you really don't want to use defensive skills in this game. Alright, so rambled on quite enough. Let's take off our Dragon's Bane, coolest sword in the game, and let's put on our OP final sword. Alright, so let's go down here, and first let me make sure that I do not have the OP skills on. Let's see. Alright. Done. So let's go beat up on our blue buddies. So what do I want to show you first? Well, alright, let's do the class strike first. So look at this. I was so happy. I was like, yeah, he's going to do it. And then I was like, what's that? So it's, I mean, it's still quite powerful. You know, the shockwave, the quake bringer, it does reach across the screen. Especially in big boss fights, you can just for fun go and stand in the you know, one corner, and you'll see it reach all the way across the map. So let's do this one more time. Keep an eye on the damage here. Alright, it's about 11 and 44. Alright. So, somewhere around there. We'll let this guy live for now. So now let's put on our, let's see, wound. So, I'll just show you that wound does not increase its damage. Alright, same deal. We did crit, so I mean that is nice damage. So there you go. Wound does not work. It does, however, work when you do this. So we're about 304, 303. Alright. Let's put on wound. There we are. So you can see that there's clearly a damage increase, and every time we use a power attack, see, so normal attacks doesn't do anything. We're not losing any HP. But when we do a power attack, also you can see that I do have the sword icon on Duran, which means my attack's even higher because I did kill an enemy. Look at that damage, just 18, just nothing on him. He's just chunking him. Alright, so wound does work for charge attacks. This also will take some of your life, obviously 5%. This is good. It's a, you know, the duelist path to the berserker has a really easy way of playing a low HP build. You know, let me just put these on the allies and show you that even though you're dropping your life, they will heal you a bit. But let's see. So I mean, if we were doing low, we'd already be triggering it, and then they'd heal you up. But still, you know. Okay, well he's dead, unfortunately. Let's try this again. So I mean, there is, you can kind of proc, you know, some low HP stuff a little bit. So I mean, the quality of life is a bit better, because in general you would just have to keep your HP low, turn everything off, and you know, just play safe. Whereas even with this, you know, you can leave the items on, and it'll get low for a bit, and then you'll heal up. So it's an option. It's you know, so I mean, when you're low, you just pop your class strike and the damage. Either way. So let's talk about rage. So rage does proc with wound. Want them together. What else did he get here? He really didn't get much here. He just got a lot of attack. A good class strike. Again, it pales into comparison what it was in the original, but it's still quite good. Wound and rage work well together. Wound again on the power attack. So let me just show you his power attack here. Just show you the damage. So this would be, so we're at 399 with the first power attack. Alright, well we crit. He's gonna crit a lot. 61. So it looks like our attack wore off. Let's do this again. So yeah, 380, somewhere around there. Now let's do his fourth hit. No. let's see if I can, and this is one of the reasons why, especially the Berserker and the Duelist and the Swordmaster, all this stuff, it's really a nightmare to do the testing, because when you kill something, you're gonna get that attack increase. You got 10 seconds to do your stuff. It's just a nightmare. Well, let's try it here. So the game plan is I'm gonna go in here and do my 4-hit combo, and look at that damage. It's just 1,000 more. So it's a single hit. You just do so much damage, and you know that's why, you know, wound, when you're looking at it, it's just really good. We'll take that off so that we don't proc it. So again, boom! Look at that. It's just crazy. He just does tons of damage, even on the Duelist. So again, the Duelist and the Swordmaster are comparable. Ultimately, Swordmaster will pull ahead in the final class, but for now, they're pretty even. Again, we have the Rage Wound type gameplay, and it synergizes well with low HP shenanigans. So, come on. I mean, it's just really strong. You know, again, you still have that core gameplay from the Gladiator, which is 10 seconds attack and the spin slash. That doesn't change. You can use Quakebringer on bosses, especially on some of the bigger bosses. It'll hit multiple times, doing big damage. But I mean, that's about it for the Duelist. I mean, I don't want to ramble on too much, but it's highest attack for now. Wound does proc Rage. You got a good class strike. Dark Saber is kind of useless. Let's just go ahead and put on the skills that we got. Let's do Flourish and, you know, counter. I mean, Wound will also proc counter and Rage. So even right here with these, they're still quite good. Again, you could do Charger. You're going to get 30% extra damage, and Wound, you want it on the charge. So, I mean, there's a lot of... still, it's not going to do as much as you just dropping that. So, alrighty, so I'm going to call it, and I'll see you guys again. Take care now.